Next topic that we'll be discussing is aftermarket steering wheels. And they come in two types, original steering wheels and replica steering wheels. So after I cover all 7 points on the list that I want to touch on, by the end of this video you should know exactly which type you'll be leaning towards and why. So with that being said, point number one will be definition. I'm pretty sure that not every one of you exactly is familiar why one of the steering wheels types is labeled, original slash real, and the other one is labeled as, replica slash fake. So let me just debunk this very quickly. Now, the originals are called original steering wheels because the manufacturer that make them are proven on the market for a very long time, and they're focused towards, professional use and motorsports. Brands such as Momo, Sparkle, Nardi, OMP, like you name it, right? So they have been very trusted, and people know they bring the top of the top, quality in the bracket. While in the other hand, the replicas, obviously, as the name might suggest, they are either unknown or lesser known brands which, have copied or imitate the design of the original steering wheels, and they're more focused towards, casual, just normal day-to-day driving cars, I guess you can call it. And also, as now they're popular in, like in my setup, I run a replica, sim racing or sim drifting. So that's pretty much the difference between, the replicas and the originals. Now, this brings us to point number two, which is quality. And obviously, there'll be big ups and downs of each one. So let's talk about it. Regarding the originals, the materials are obviously the highest possible grade you can imagine, like premium level, premium grade aluminum. The leather is top notch, the suede is top notch, and anything you can think of, the carbon fiber and so on. While in the other hand, on the replicas, well, they might use, basic alloy and lower level aluminum, and, instead of leather, they'll use synthetic leather. You get the point, right? Like the level of quality has dropped down, and obviously that's why we'll be touching on all some other stuff later on. There's ups and downs, of course. And, one of the reasons why the cost of the originals is very high and, the replicas is way lower. There's ups and downs to anything, guys. That leads us to point number three, durability. Since we just mentioned the quality and the level of the materials in terms of quality, this comes to durability, which is very important. Now, the original steering wheels, in terms of durability, of course, is very high because they spend tons probably of money in terms of just engineering costs, and they must make sure that they line up with the standards of safety, because if you're focused towards professional use and motorsports, there's a lot of crashes, a lot of things, and you don't want your steering wheel to split or bend and potentially injure the driver, right? So they're probably doing a lot of vigorous, a lot of, terrible tests towards the wheels, smashing them, squeezing them just to test, how much, strength they have, how much, pressure they can withstand. And, they're probably doing a lot of crash tests, whatever. So that's, pretty much in terms of the durability, the safety is proven on point and on the top level regarding the originals, because there's a lot of investment towards that safety level. And obviously the craftsmanship is proven over the years. Regarding the replicas, well, not much is spent towards, the safety, as they're not focused towards that much, aggressive type of driving. And the quality and durability is just enough there so that probably the steering wheels can survive, even though now they're very strong. I'm pretty sure that they can survive a crash of normal cars. Depends, I guess, how much. But that's one of the reasons why they're super popular now in sim racing and drifting, is because the quality has leveled up even in the replicas, and they're very strong, very durable. And in drifting, how much power do we use? How much torque, right? Like, you don't need more than 4 to 6, maximum 7 tops, depending what the heck you're rocking. That's pretty much regarding durability. Originals focus a lot on safety because remember, they made these steering wheels for professional, use in motorsports, and they want to make sure that the drivers are safe. So you can imagine how much testing goes into the process of making these steering wheels and engineering. while replicas just casual use, very cool designs and so on, more fancy pantsy type. So you can imagine that the safety is not that high. That's regarding durability. Number four will be cost. Well, as we just talked about the quality, you can imagine that since you're buying the best grade of materials for these original steering wheels from the very popular brandings like Momo, MP, Spark, Renardi, and the rest, well, the reason for the cost being so high is obviously distributors. You pay for the branding, the name, because it's very popular and proven on the market, sorry. But also you pay for these super high grade materials that are being used in these steering wheels, and that's the main reason why the cost is so high. In the other hand, the replicas though, well, they use lower levels of material, so this brings the cost down. They might not use exactly a distributor, so they might, maybe this company that is making these replicas is shipping them on their own or whatever, and the prices are way lower. So if we speak about cost, just from my experience, the last time I opened the internet to check about steering wheels, I didn't see an original steering wheel. I didn't see an original steering wheel less than 200 euros or bucks, while the replicas, they can easily go, 50, 60, 70 bucks. I'd say, 60, 70, you want a bit of a higher level quality replica. You don't want to buy the garbage of the garbage, obviously, because as we know, there is a replica and replica, right? So as there's like, original and original, there are some brands that are just making their way up. You need to account for everything, guys. So that brings us to point number five: design and variety. Well, there's big downs here regarding the original steering wheels. Well, since the price is very high and everything is very expensive, there's not many, designs and variety in terms of sizes, colors, I guess shapes, whatever you can think of possibly. While in the replicas, since they're way cheaper, you can find literally, almost literally, guys, everything in terms of colors, shapes, sizes, such a big variety, and that's why I believe they're so popular in sim racing and drifting, because you can find literally everything you need and everything that's very cool, very sick looking, and so on. And that's pretty much about point number five regarding designs and variety. Here, the replicas have a very big pluses, while the original steering wheels go a bit down in terms of variety. You can't find every single size that you need, and obviously maybe every single color that you'd like, and yeah, it's just not too much customization, while the replicas have all big options for customization and variety that you can pick from. Now, point number six is usage slash purpose, and I'll start with the original ones. As I said earlier, they're focused towards professional driving in motorsports, and they can fit real cars, and you can also fit them to your sim setup, so they can fit literally everything: real cars, sim setups. Now the sim manufacturers that are the popular ones, they also produce a lot of adapters that also can fit aftermarket steering wheels. So you just need to make sure that if you're getting an aftermarket adapter, not from the, let's say you use Moza or like Fanatec, whatever, and they don't have an adapter for that steering wheel to match aftermarket one, well, you can just get an, I guess, aftermarket adapter, somebody that makes them for this specific wheelbase, and you gotta make sure that it has the same PCD as the steering wheel that you either have or you're planning to buy an original one. So for the replicas, the purpose is obviously mainly not towards professional driving, but more towards casual, drivers with casual cars, because the durability is not as high to sustain that kind of a crazy driving, or I guess crazy level of crashes, even though it can be a bit debatable, like where the crashes are a bit more violent. For the replicas, they're very focused towards casual driving, normal cars, and they're super popular in the sim setups now due to the crazy variety out there in terms of sizes, shapes. You can find anything, and it's also super affordable, and also the color difference and designs are so many, you can just pick and find everything that you'd like, and you can literally find everything that you've imagined or you've dreamed of in terms of design or color most of the time. While with the original ones, that might not be the case. I would really suggest not using a replica steering wheel if you're planning to push a real car somewhere. You just don't want to play with your safety, and they might not be as durable and as good as you think. So that's pretty much about point number 6. And finally, with point number 7, resale value. Obviously, the replicas are way too low just because they're cheaper, and also the quality of the materials is not as good, so they'll definitely depreciate over time. While, for the original steering wheels, they might actually, either retain their value or keep it a bit higher. Or if you just bought it and you kept it in pristine condition somewhere, safe as a, I guess, collector or whatever, the value will just only go up, and you can resell it for some good money later on. So that's pretty much all my points that I wanted to cover, guys. The difference and distinction is very simple. The replicas are made by unknown, less known manufacturers, which aim to bring down the cost of the steering wheels while also, provide you with a very, durable, good quality steering wheel and not some garbage. And you can use it, for your normal day-to-day car and for the sim setup. In the other hand, if you want the top of the top quality and something that you can use in your, I guess you could also put it in your normal car, either normal car or racing car, or the sim setup, you could buy an original steering wheel. However, the cost can be very, very pricey. They can go up between, $200 or €200 up to 700, something crazy. While the replicas, they still stay low, like between 50 and 150, depends like of the quality of the replica and what replica it is. You definitely very affordable and in multiple sizes. Like you can find all kinds of shapes, sizes, very big variety in terms of the replicas. While with the original, that's not really the case. So that's pretty much my debunking, my explanation of everything. I hope you learned something.